Welcome to the deep dive. We take a stack of sources and, well, we try to pull out the fascinating core for you.
That's the idea.
So today, our source is a YouTube transcript. It's titled 2023 Halia Festival of Spirituality, The Flower of Light, Chapter 3, and it's from the STB World channel.
Okay.
And our mission really is just to understand what this video is actually laying out about something called the Flower of Light meditation.
Right.
What immediately caught my eye, I have to say, is the sheer immensity of the main image. We're not talking about like a little daisy here.
No, definitely not. The transcript guides you to visualize a truly enormous sort of eternal flower of light.
Eternal, okay.
Yes, situated in what it calls the deepest cosmic realm of light. And just to give you an idea of the scale, it suggests Earth, or even a star, thousands of times bigger than our sun,
Wow.
could fit inside just one petal.
Yeah.
So right away, that tells you visualization is absolutely central to this.
Yeah, clearly.
And it kind of hints at a specific spiritual tradition, which we find out later is likely Jeung San Do.
Okay, right. So the first step in the actual guided meditation is bringing this huge flower into your own space, like where you're meditating.
Exactly. And the transcript even says, some people might actually see it.
Really? Visually?
Apparently. And its size can vary person to person. Then you're guided to visualize entering the very center, the core of this flower.
Okay.
And there's this grand column of light coming down right onto your head. It's quite a powerful image to start with.
Yeah, it really is.
And what's pretty interesting here is the idea that this flower, it's not limited by physical space. The transcript makes that clear. It can be above you, whether you're in, say, a meditation hall or just at home.
Or on the bus.
Or even on the go, yeah.
Yeah.
Train, car. This idea of a spiritual focus point that transcends location. We see that in other practices too.
Sure.
And the mention of spiritual sight, well, that adds another layer, doesn't it? About who might perceive it.
It does. And the imagery, it just keeps getting more intense. You're then asked to imagine this massive flower covering your whole house.
Your whole house.
It's enveloping it. And its light, the sacred light, pours down like Niagara Falls, apparently.
Wow, okay.
And then it breaks down into streams of light finer than subatomic particles, just showering your body.
That's incredibly detailed imagery, from cosmic scale right down to subatomic.
And the suggested time is like 20 to 30 minutes. But then it mentions some practitioners do it for 5 hours a day.
5 hours. Yeah, that really suggests it's intended as more than just, a casual mental exercise.
Definitely not casual.
It seems aimed at really profound engagement, maybe some kind of inner shift, fully occupying the imagination.
So the transcript then moves on. It talks about progressing to the next stage, which involves receiving something called the Salioa. Any idea what that is at this point?
Well, as we learn a bit later, the Salioa seems to be a really core element. It gets called a mother flower eventually. The steps seem to involve purifying these 3 spiritual eyes on the forehead to form something called the Eye of Mujek. And then you receive the Mujek Xian Zhenghua inside that.
Okay, so it's layered.
Very much so.
Right.
And that Mujek thingy then transforms into the giant flower of light we started with. So it's like a step-by-step refinement of these visualized light energies.
And the journey keeps going inward. It then talks about descending into the infinitesimal realm.
Yeah, the infinitesimal realm of the universe. And there you discover countless clusters of these light flowers.
Countless clusters.
Which are described as basically the ultimate realm of enlightenment. It's like a whole cosmology packed into this meditation.
It really is. From the vast to the tiny.
Exactly. That movement from the huge flower down to these tiny clusters, it's a powerful symbol. It kind of echoes ideas in many traditions about, the macrocosm and microcosm being linked.
The universe within.
Precisely. And finding insight through going inward.
Now, this is where it gets, well, really specific to this tradition, I think. It mentions about 3,000 Jeung San Do practitioners have received something called a wish-fulfilling pearl.
Right, the wish-fulfilling pearl.
And then it draws this comparison to Buddhist history, saying only one other person, a monk Jinpyo, got this in 3,000 years, and supposedly directly from someone called Seng Jenim.
That comparison really highlights the significance and maybe the perceived accessibility of this within Jeung San Do now.
Right, like it's more available now.
That seems to be the implication. And the belief is these 3,000 people will be key in setting up the new civilization of the cosmic autumn.
Cosmic autumn. Okay, so there's a whole future history tied into this practice.
It seems so. A specific view of time and what's coming.
The speaker in the video then says they wish everyone could get enlightened through this, but there's a catch.
Apparently the flower won't respond if you're skeptical or suspicious.
Ah.
It's described as a cosmic Holy Spirit that can, see right through your mind. And this allows you to communicate with your own Siolioa.
So belief and openness are prerequisites, basically.
That's strongly suggested, yes. It's framed as a relationship, not just a mental technique. A potential for direct spiritual experience within their framework.
And the potential payoff sounds huge. The transcript talks about seeing past lives, and even the moment your spirit was born, before you were human. The goal of the first stage is getting the Siolioa and finding your original self.
Those are profound goals, absolutely. Things like reincarnation, finding your true nature. These are big themes in many spiritual paths. Here, the flower seems like the vehicle for that.
Okay, let's shift to the practical side of it. It says the meditation feels like being showered in light. Sounds nice.
Pleasant, yeah.
And if you combine this visualization with chanting specific mantras, they mention the Issionjuju and Tailju while focusing on parts of your body that hurt.
Right, for healing.
The idea is you receive immense energy.
That combination chanting, focused visualization, it's a common technique, isn't it? Directing mental and maybe vibrational energy for well-being.
Yeah, you see variations of that.
And the claim that this is a culmination of Eastern and Western traditions is, well, it's their perspective on its universality.
The transcript also suggests this meditation can answer the big questions about the universe, existence. It contrasts it with psychology, neuroscience, Buddhist studies, saying they struggle to find the origin of the mind.
And the claim here.
The claim is the origin is the mind of the Holy Spirit of great emptiness, and understanding the origin of time and space unlocks the mystery of truth.
That's a very bold statement, positioning this as a direct path to fundamental metaphysical understanding, bypassing maybe more conventional routes.
Yeah, and that Holy Spirit of great emptiness phrase really roots it in a specific cosmology.
Definitely.
Then this concept of the autumn Gaebyo comes up again, approaching, unstoppable.
Sounds ominous.
It does, and it emphasizes needing meticulous preparation through this meditation to get through its trials.
Preparation is key.
They also suggest watching STB Sangsang television broadcasting to understand this era better. And they mention building a big Sangsang World Center as a future hub.
So it adds this layer of urgency, community building, and specific guidance for followers facing this Gaebyuk period.
The transcript then includes some personal stories, like from a Jason Buffington and a John Marone.
Testimonials.
Yeah. They talk about learning the visualizations, meditating with a visualized flame, feeling like they were helping spirit beings, getting relief from stress and anxiety, using mantras, planting these flowers in their bodies for healing.
So reports of tangible benefits.
Right. And John Marone also mentions the state of the world and needing outlets like meditation. Plus, an anonymous audience member shared a powerful feeling of being in the light and wanting to use it for calm.
These personal accounts, they offer a glimpse into the subjective experience, the perceived benefits, anecdotal evidence, essentially.
Of course, individual experiences vary.
And can be shaped by belief, expectation, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But compelling for those involved, clearly.
Then there's a really detailed guided meditation specifically for healing using the Siolioa.
Okay, how does that work?
It describes visualizing planting these flowers in areas that need healing, then multiplying them into tiny fractals.
The fractal's interesting.
And directing light at those areas while chanting the Tailju mantra. It even mentions potentially transforming the body into a body of light, immortality.
Wow, okay. High aspirations there.
Very. It gives examples like inflammation, toothaches. Notes that the main flower, the mother flower, lives in the upper danjian, the head area.
Right, the head center.
And you can make copies, adjust their size. The original is maybe 13 by 15 centimeters and plant them where needed.
That's incredibly specific instruction. The detail really emphasizes the focus required in the visualization. Using analogies like acupuncture needles helps make it feel more manageable, maybe.
Yeah, less abstract, perhaps.
And applying it to concrete issues like toothaches gives practical entry points.
But again, the transcript repeats the importance of a true mind. Skepticism, doubt. The Siolioa spirit apparently won't respond.
Right, that sincerity aspect again.
Linked again to the autumn Gaebyuk, a time of purging unrighteousness, consequences for deceit, slander.
So within this belief system, your inner state isn't just important for the practice, it has broader cosmic implications, especially during this predicted time.
And the Gaebyuk comes up again. Nature, civilization, humanity, all undergoing this upheaval. including waves of disease.
A multifaceted crisis.
And it suggests seeking refuge in teams of 6, ideally family, and introducing them to this Siolioo meditation.
So a community survival element.
Seems like it. And it also explains how you can visualize and send the Siolioa to heal others no matter how far away, because it's a flower of creation transformation.
That remote healing idea.
Okay.
It connects to concepts of non-locality, the power of intention we see elsewhere too. Here, it's tied specifically to this flower's nature.
Then there's another step-by-step guide, this time for planting the Siolioa in yourself, using a painful knee as an example.
Okay, more practical steps.
Stresses imagination, taking it slow for beginners, adjusting the flower size from that 15-centimeter baseline. Again, the acupuncture needle analogy.
Consistency in the technique.
Examples for lungs, heart, even mentioning using a light flower for regeneration after a myocardial infarction.
That's a very significant claim, suggesting cellular regeneration through visualization.
It is. The 3 key steps for this healing are summarized as 1. Plant and divide the flower. 2. Flashlight. 3. The light explodes through the body.
Explodes.
Yeah, described as Yulio energy of healing, even likened to nuclear fusion.
Nuclear fusion. Wow, that language conveys immense power, doesn't it? A profound energetic transformation is implied. Yulio energy must be a specific term within their system for this.
Must be. Then finally, the transcript gets into receiving flowers of different colors. White, red, and blue light.
Okay, different colors, different meanings.
Seems so. White is linked to Mguk, the source of existence. Red and blue are Teguk, like water and fire energies.
Ah, like yin and yang concepts, perhaps.
Could be. It guides you through visualizing these flowers descending, entering the head, multiplying dynamically while you move your arms.
Dynamic meditation, okay.
Then gathering them back, merging them, and eventually combining all 3 into the rainbow-colored Seolioa, the mother flower.
So a process of receiving, integrating these different energies or aspects.
Exactly. And this combined flower is meant to be kept in the upper dantian, ready to use. The speaker, called Jeung Dosa, also describes performing a transmission ritual.
Transmitting the flower.
Yeah, inviting the listener to imagine receiving this white flower like falling snow, feeling oneness with the universe. It's a very detailed, guided ritual experience described at the end.
That whole sequence, receiving the colored flowers, integrating them, the transmission ritual, it outlines a core practice for initiation or advancement, it seems, establishing that permanent connection to the Seolioa.
Well, that was quite a journey through the flower of light meditation based on this transcript. I mean, the claims are pretty extraordinary.
They really are, touching on cosmology, healing, past lives, the future. It's a comprehensive system.
So, summing up for you, the listener, what are the absolute key takeaways here?
I think first, the absolute centrality of vivid, detailed visualization. That's undeniable. Second, the underlying belief in a potent spiritual energy embodied by this flower that can be directed for healing and profound transformation.
Right.
And third, how this entire practice is deeply embedded within a specific worldview, the Jeung San Do teachings, Singjinam, and this idea of an imminent autumn gaebyeok. It doesn't exist in a vacuum.
No, definitely not. It's a very distinct practice tied to a specific set of beliefs. And, I'm sure you listening will have your own reactions, your own perspectives on all this.
Absolutely. Which leads us to maybe a final thought for you to mull over. Given this really strong emphasis on inner transformation and how it's linked to such a grand cosmic story, what potential impact, personally or even collectively, might practices have that rely so heavily on these kinds of vivid visualizations and belief in spiritual energies? Maybe consider the role that your own belief, your own focused intention might play in any practice that's aimed at, well-being or deepening your understanding of yourself and the world. Something to think about.